What's up, everybody? Rob Nakamura here with the High Chief, Pauga. Together, we're fully hydrated. My man, good to see you.
How's it going?
It's going good. I know we're just into episode 3, folks. So be patient with us as we
Here we go.
work on going live. We're trying to get onto more platforms, going live on X, going live on Instagram.
We should be live on Instagram now. It should be up and going on Instagram, on my Instagram at least.
Yes, go to Zach's pages. Either way, figure it out. Get there. It's on his Instagram, on his X. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube if you are. And dude, there's so much drama.
A lot came out, a lot like just today. A bunch came out today, and then since last Monday, it's been a lot in the fight sports world.
So much. I honestly, let's go with what's coming up versus what has happened. We'll circle back to that because, folks, I want you guys to know. Drop your comments, drop your thoughts. It's not just a one-way conversation here. Join us, suggest things. But let's just dabble into the prediction market since that's the coolest, trendiest thing going on. Main event prediction: Strickland or Fluffy? Who you got, bro?
I'm going with Sean. It's weird to me that he's such a big underdog. Like I think when I looked at it, he was like plus 200 or something. Dude, Sean is good, and obviously Fluffy's the hot hand right now, but I really don't know. Strickland can grapple. He's a really good grappler. You're not going to gas him out, which with Fluffy does to a lot of people, tires him out. I don't know why Sean's such a big underdog, other than just that he hasn't been active and Fluffy has been. He's the hot ticket right now. So, but I'm going with Strickland. I could see either one winning, but especially if you're a bettor, right? Don't take my advice if you're a bettor, but for betting odds, I would put money on Strickland.
All right. You know what? We agree maybe to people's opinions too much. We're in the same boat very often.
We always agree all the time.
Me and you agree on a lot of stuff, and I'm so glad we can start the show off with me disagreeing with you. Now, I do agree with the aspect of what you're talking about, the inactivity. That's probably hurting Sean's status. And he's not that young anymore. So maybe all that stuff combining. But yeah, Fluffy is the hot hand, and that's exactly why I'm going to play him. That's why I'm picking him. And maybe it's just personal reasons, but I'm kind of over the Sean Strickland fan base. They live way too vicariously through that dude. And I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Not like it really matters. Is there any other fights? I mean, there's a lot of good fights on this card. Like for a fight night, kind of undersold. Can I just say this fight is way too fucking quiet for how good of a roster is put together for this fight card?
I'm hoping that this is like just how Paramount's going to be, how the UFC is going to be going forward. I don't need you guys to hear me that it's not sustainable. I don't need to hear you tell me it's not sustainable. But you're right, dude. This is a great fight night. This is a great fight night. Opening the show, right? The curtain jerker, the Tough 30 alumni, the only member of Tough 30 still in the UFC.
Shout out
Juliana Miller versus Carly Judas. That's going to be a really interesting, exciting fight. I am rooting for my girl Juliana, but I think she's like a plus 700 or something. It's going to be probably super exciting because of how Carly whoops up on her, but I'm rooting for her, and we'll see. There's tons of other good fights to talk about. Punahele, right, is fighting, and he's on like a little streak right now. He's like 4 in a row. This is a big deal. And sidetrack, guys. We are trying to figure out the live and get it all going. It's like the program that we're using. The YouTube comments are being shown to us. My Instagram comments are on a different page, and it's on like a delay. So please let us know. We want to hear from you guys, but we're trying to keep up with everything and figure it out.
Yeah, as you see from the count, episode 3, We're not tech guys. This is not our specialty. If one of you guys are, hit us up.
Yeah.
We could use your help. But jumping on, since you brought up one Hawaiian, I cannot let the other Hawaiian slide. Dan Ige.
Oh yeah.
100 grand Dan, as he wants to be referred to now, is no longer 50K Ige.
I like that. I haven't heard that. I like that.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
That.
I thought it was just gonna be so simple, like 100. We'll just increase it to 100K easy. But I don't know, whoever got in his ear, made that creative addition to his branding. 100 grand Dan, I'm all for it. So, and I would be a douche to not shout out like the Spivak Delia fight. Excuse me, that one's badass. Jeff Neal, Uros Medic, that's a good ass fight.
Sober Jeff Neal, sober. He says he's been 100 days sober. When you're a fighter, that's a big deal. That's a big deal if you're not sober in fight camp.
I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna say, don't change what brought you. Like run what you brung.
Yeah.
Okay, good for him. All jokes aside, good for him. Bless him. Good, glad he's tackling that beast in his life. But I'm semi-dead serious, dude. Like, you've had great success. You've barely any losses. Don't change the formula now. Not the time. Just keep doing it now. But for real though, good for his liver, good for his heart, good for his life, and all the good blessings to him and all that in the future. And then I want to give a small shout out to the homie Philip Rowe, Philly Fresh. Coming in short notice to fix the card, to help it out. So like this, and no disrespect to anybody else that I just kind of skipped over, but this is not like a fight review card. We're just kind of throwing up our favorites. If you guys got any fights you guys want to talk about, matchups or whatever, otherwise, please drop the comment. We're on YouTube. X has been funky today, by the way. I heard a lot of people complaining about their timelines and how things are being seen and produced and not necessarily seeing everything. So I don't know if that's still a thing. But on the topic of not seeing everything, I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit. I got to run it up one more time since it's a hot discussion. I got people like throwing racist slurs at me because I have opinions on this. Tom Aspinall and his eyeball.
I'm going to throw some racist slurs at you.
Tom and his eyeball. I'm not here to talk about any of the stuff other than just the recent 24 hours or so optometrists, plural. I don't know how many eye doctors there are on the planet, and I don't know how many of them are also simultaneously UFC fans to be in this very niche area to discuss this. But the fact that multiple of them have come out and go, bro, that machine ain't for double vision. Like, I'm no doctor, but I play one on TV, and I said, hey, brother just did LASIK. Like, that ain't nothing fancy. He just did LASIK. I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on these doctors coming out and sounding out calling bullshit?
On the doctor's, this is my thoughts on everything.
Okay, come on.
Tom's only done one wrong thing in all of this. Okay, he's only made one mistake, right? I've gone on record. If you're gonna be mad at someone, be mad at Cyril Gahn, right? Even if you think he was beating Tom, even if you think Tom wanted a way out and couldn't win, be mad at Cyril Gahn for giving him the way out. Be mad at Cyril Gahn, who cheats in every single fight, for continuing to cheat. Tom, listen to me, dude. Listen to me, please. We're not friends. I'm not going to say we're friends. We've met several times, and you're a cool dude. Please listen to me. You're never going to convince Rob that your eyes are actually hurt. Okay? You're never going to convince him and everyone like him. Stop having these doctors come on. Stop telling us all these things that are wrong with you. I believe you, Tom. I believed you from day one. You could take your eyeball out and put it on a plate and give it to Rob, and he's still not going to believe you. Just stop talking
maybe
about
I would then. I would then. Then I would.
Just stop talking about it. Just say, I'm not ready. I'm still out. And that's it, dude. The more you try and over-explain it, the more you try and have experts come on, and then people are looking up their like background and when the last time they did eye surgery. That's the wrong thing to do, dude. Just say I'm not ready yet, and it's really sucks, and I'm really upset it's Zero gone. Don't give us all this over explanation of how hurt your eyes are, because you're pushing away some of the people that are on your side, and you're not swaying anyone. You're not swaying Rob. You're not swaying anyone else. And then the people like me, when I'm like, dude, come on, dude, we don't. I already believe you. I already believe you. You don't have to convince me.
All right, you know what? I'm not beyond being convinced. I'm not that kind of guy. I am strong on my point, and I stand where I stand on stuff quite firmly. But you know what doesn't help? The newly released video of his editor not taking out his recent public trips, and you can barely shake hands. You can't do this. You can't do that. Oh, brr. Why can't he dribble a soccer ball? How can you play hacky sack with a little baby soccer ball? If you're so off balance, I don't know if you've seen that video, Mr. Pauga. I bring that. I bring that to this conversation.
I've not seen it, and like I said, I haven't seen it because I don't care. Zero Gone poked him in the eye. It's not. He doesn't have to keep fighting. He's making it. He's proving my point. That's stop trying to convince people, and now maybe stop trying to convince people that it's worse than it is. You were in the right. You were justified. I think that they should have DQ'd Gone. It shouldn't have even been a no contest. It should have been a disqualification. But I haven't seen the video that you're talking about. But it just further emphasizes my point, dude. You're not going to convince anybody, and you're going to lose the people that believe you.
There we go. Well, I'm glad we can continue to not have that settled between us. But my man, I agree with you in the sense of shut up already. You're not helping your cases. And I can't wait till we're done recording, sending this live out so I can send you that freshly made video. All right. Now on the topic of messy things, not longer Tom. We'll give Tom a break. UFC, messy. Very messy recently. Because they're in legal trouble, question mark, maybe. They're fighting a legal battle, another class action lawsuit. They got two of them on their hands. So they settled one, and right after they settled one, they had two hot balls coming at them, one at the same time. I don't even know which one this is about. Maybe you can help clear this one up for me, but I do know the next part. Go ahead.
So this one is super specific. It is the UFC is being sued because they're being the plaintiffs, right? It's class action. So a bunch of fighters are saying that managers are basically employees of the UFC. That people that are supposed to be representing you actually work for Dana White, like pseudo work for them because they have to play along to be able to get their paycheck, to get a part of it. And obviously the biggest thing about this, and this is kind of where my worlds intersect, right? Being a former cop and investigator for the district attorney and fighting in the UFC. This is not a criminal case. There's nothing criminal about this. This is civil. It's saying you owe me money that you haven't been paid. No one's going to jail. The burden of proof is less, but the penalties are less. It's all just money. However, now there was a court order that all the specific matchmakers and agents, attorney or managers had to turn over their cell phone records, their conversations between each other. Like, super simple, right? You say that you're discussing business. Let's see. Let's find out. And lo and behold, right? Triumph MMA, Ali Abdulaziz, very popular segment on our show.
Never questioned of character Ali Abdulaziz,
who was slated to testify on behalf of the UFC in the last class action lawsuit, has just come out and said or came out over the weekend, said, court order, nah, not going to comply. You're not going to look at my records. And the reason, there's two reasons why this is very significant. A, because now it could transfer into a criminal lawsuit. If he's held in contempt of court, that is a crime. He is now breaking a law. And so that changes things a little bit for him specifically. But also, like, there's has to be some like intelligence involved from the fighter side. I know it doesn't come very often, but there has to be some intelligence involved. When someone says, "Hey, Ali's not working for your best interest. He's working for the UFC in his own best interest," and then they go, "Okay, let's that's super easy. We can prove it. Just show us your conversation." And then he goes, "Nope, won't do it." Like that like not telling is the same as telling. This is what I always say when I was a detective. Not telling is the same as telling. He's telling us that he's guilty, that he's been doing it. And I have friends that are some of his best clients, wealthiest clients. He makes them tons of money. They are not the one. Justin Gaethje is not the one that should be firing Ali. It's anybody who's not Justin Gaethje. Anyone that's a lower on the totem pole. He's not helping you out. He's helping himself out.
And I think that's where a lot of the managers don't want, like, there's one guy's text already came out, I forget who, but it really showed how feeble they are in their attempts to fight for their client, to get matchmaking done, to get fair pay, to get better compensation. They are not even doing anything. They're just like, literally the conversation went like this. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty accurate. It goes, "Hey Mick, what about my guy? You think he could get like 25K and 25K instead of 12 and 12?" And Mick was like, "Nah, but he can fight in 3 months from now if you want." And the guy was like, "Okay, cool, thanks. So what about this other guy? Do you think we could get him on the card?" And they're like, "Yeah, same pay, right?" And like, "Yeah, I'm not asking anything for him." Great job. Like, if that was my manager, that was my agent, get the fuck out of here,
right,
dude.
And that's what, like, so that the specific one you're referencing, the guy was talking about a teammate of Song Yadong, and he was like, they were trying to renegotiate, and he goes, "Well, he knows Song, and Song told him that he did this," and then Mick just immediately, nope, he can just fight out his contract. We'll cut him. And it shows you the type of the stranglehold that the UFC does have. This is, I'm not hating on Mick. This Mick's doing his job. His job is to get the best fighters to fight for the least amount of money. That's his job. And he's doing it well. And like, if you're a fighter, talking to the fighters here, if you're specifically, you should be trying to get the most amount of money. There's only two agents that you should have, and this is, either one is a gamble. You should have Ali as your agent. I'm gonna say a nice thing about him. Either Ali is your agent in the UFC's pocket, and if he chooses to, if he sees and thinks that he can get you the most money, or if you getting money will get him the most money, if you're Kamaru Usman, he's going to try and slide you in for that title shot, right? That's good. That's good for Kamaru, and I'm happy for Kamaru. But if you're not, he's going to use you as a pawn. This is how the business goes. He's going to say, "Hey, you give Kamaru the title shot, I got 6 guys that'll come in and fight for 12 and 12 and fight your undefeated guys and boost them up." The other option is to have an agent that the UFC hates. To have an agent, Stipe, right? They hated Stipe. His agent is also somebody that goes to battle with the UFC, that drags it out, fights hard for every penny, and Stipe was well paid. But now you're on the flip side. If you're going to go with that agent, you better produce. You better win your fights, because the second you need a favor, they're not doing you any favors.
No, and you're going to end up fighting in Macau at 2 a.m. your local time. No favors will be done. I want to circle this a little bit back to the focus on Ali and the trouble part, the contempt of court part, the not holding. I really want to highlight exactly what you said. The not saying, like, what are you so afraid of? Like, it's not like they're going to put out your jokes. If you have bad tasting jokes, they're looking for incriminating or leveraged things for their case. You hiding ain't going to help. And the bigger part about that was the report of Within Dominance's agency, right? I think maybe
Dominance MMA. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dominance
dominant.
MMA.
I heard and reports that there are members within the organization. There's civil war going on over this topic, whether it's because certain people don't want to get caught up. I mean, it's not uncommon in organizations, in companies. Unfortunately, I know this firsthand, where the big dog ain't going to send the text. He's going to tell second in command, and second command is going to turn third in command, and third in command is going to send the dirty text of what needs to be done. And that's when they said the internal team is splintering and there's civil war going on. I go, I know that. I've seen that before. And I'm so beyond intrigued on this story.
I'm super interested because maybe we might actually get some movement in with this stuff happening in the UFC. We got all with the last lawsuit. We got all the way up to the day of trial, right? We got to the day of trial, and those, good for them, good for the dudes, good for the 4 guys that took the settlement. They're rich. They don't got to worry about anything anymore. But they were like, we were about to get all this. We were about to get all this, whatever, 6 months ago. And those guys sold out. With more power to them. I'm not mad at them, but it's going to take some. It was going to have to take somebody to have to put every fighter above themselves. That's what it was going to take. That's why it's never happened before. And now, Mr. Ali, being a scumbag, may just do it for us. He may just do it for us, and it'll be super interesting to see what comes of it. He listed some BS reasons, some like because the specific the plaintiffs, like the 4 guys who are at the head of the case, were talking trash about him online, and that's why he said that he doesn't feel comfortable releasing his records. Not a legitimate reason, but the one that he gave.
Yeah.
And a super important point that you gave too. When you do these searches, and I'm speaking a little bit out of my depth now. I've never done a civil case, but when you're executing a search warrant for a criminal case, you can only search for the scope of that warrant. If I'm searching for a specific crime, I can't also be like, oh, and Ali was also a terrorist and has all these contacts over here. Let's go get him. You're not allowed to do that. You can search for the scope of your warrant for the crime that you're investigating.
Yeah, and that's real stuff. And that's why this is so interesting, because we don't know how the ball's going to drop and what can come of it. We were so close. The UFC was so close to having the fighters actually gain some traction, which would have led to our other point for the lack of leverage managers have against the matchmaking. Like, it's crazy, but because the people don't support other brands and the fighters aren't really readily willing to go to another brand, it's all the prestiges on the UFC all the time, no matter what, that they have this leverage over the fight game. The guys can't negotiate above it. But moving on from this, there's other stuff going on in the UFC that's crazy interesting. One that always somehow finds a way to connect to my brother, the heavyweights. Jelton Almeida, I know everyone's talked about it, but it's not just the point of Jelton getting cut, even though that is important. It's a part of him being cut and being a ranked heavyweight. Folks, drop your comments, share it with us. Anything you want us to talk about, the last topic we just shared, or this one, or anything else that's on your mind. We're here to talk with you guys, not just to you guys. So the point being, I'm just going to say this, as flat-footed as it is. What the fuck are the rankings even for? I don't know. I mean, they obviously just give prestige to a fighter and to make some kind of pathway for the public to understand where they are in the trajectory going towards a world title. But if you can just cut guys who are world ranked in the top 15 of the world, first Mr. Boudet, shout out Martin Boudet, now higher in the rankings with Jelton, it's like, well, what's the point? Why even have it? I don't even know.
So, dude, that's the honest truth. What is the point? What does it mean to be number 6 in the world. It doesn't. You're the 6th best fighter on planet Earth, and in the heavyweight division, which means you're actually the 6th best fighter on planet Earth. Like you're 6th best fighter in the world. That doesn't mean that you get to be in the UFC. Apparently, it doesn't mean that you get to be on the best organization on planet Earth. So the rankings specifically, I don't know what it means. I don't know what the UFC's plan for the heavyweight division is. I really, truly don't. There's boring fighters in every single weight class. But I feel like for whatever reason at heavyweight, you get no leeway. Like Jalton has like 8 finishes in the UFC. Yes, he has some stinkers. Right? He has some bad ones. He also has tons and tons of finishes, of rear naked chokes, submission wins. And I can't. I'm not leaking. I still have a job. I still have friends, guys. I'm not leaking any information here on this podcast. Sorry, but there is another fight coming out. I'm telling you that you guys are going to look at it and go, "What in the world? Like, what did the rankings mean nothing? Rankings truly, they don't mean anything. They don't mean you. They definitely don't give you leverage with the UFC. We're fine to go circle all the way back to Tom. I hope it's a rumor. I'm hoping it was fake news, but I saw people talking about them trying to strip Tom of the belt. Like
strip him.
Being the champ doesn't even give you leverage. No one in the UFC has leverage. They gave one guy leverage in the history of the company, Conor McGregor, and they're never going to do that again because of what Conor did.
Tom is as much of a champion as Colby Covington was. He's an interim champion with 0 championship fights. It's a no contest. Anyway, I'm trolling a little bit, but I do want to get shout out to Billy, Mr. Watson, commenting on Jilton's situation. He must have pissed somebody off. Now, I want to run with that a little bit because we do know somebody that pissed somebody off. Going down to Mr. Brian Battle, pissing off Mick, who's a hard guy to piss off. By the way, if you guys don't know Mick, pretty solid dude, hard to piss off, but he did, and he got the axe. Is that a possibility? Could Jilton have pissed somebody off?
I absolutely. I've shared it on the podcast before. I'm sure I've shared it on the podcast. I pissed Mick off, right? I unintentionally when I fought Guskov, they tried to move the fight to London. They tried to move the fight week. And so swear to God, I promise you guys, I wasn't trying to be like a diva. I wasn't trying to do anything. They asked me, they said, hey, because we have a signed contract, and they asked me, hey, we were thinking about moving this fight. Like, how do you feel about that? I'm literally cutting weight. I'm in the process of cutting weight. I was not fully hydrated. I'm dying. And I go, what? I go, no. What are you talking about? I'm fighting Saturday. No, that's not happening. They just go, well, okay. Or they specifically say, hey, it would be a big favor to us. I'm dumb at the time, right? I'm an idiot. And I go, no, I won't do that. Lose to Guskov, who's obviously very good. Number 4 in the world right now. And cut, right? No, I had a UFC win. It was my second loss. I wasn't tied to Ivasa, right? 6 in a row. I had 1 win and 2, fought 3 times a year. Was trying to help the UFC out, but I got on the wrong side of the wrong person at the wrong time, and that's all it takes. And that's all. There's nothing that can save you. Long personal story. Just to say, right now, there's nothing that can save you. Being 6 in the world, being champion, nothing can save you if you get on the wrong person's bad side.
I'd love when you share these personal stories, bro, and I think more people need to hear them. I don't care how much time goes by. That shit's real, and I know I'm your friend, so maybe I side on your side too often, but ask anybody they want to do hard fucking thinking problems while hungry, let alone while cutting weight, which is like
dying
10 times harder. But like, you don't tell somebody to make a critical life decision after starving them for days. Like, you just don't do that. So I don't know. But I really, really appreciate when you share that story, and I think it's still dirty work that they did it. But I want to share another comment from Billy saying, let's be real. UFC rankings ranks fighters by gates. And I think he's on to something. I think he's on to something there. We've talked about this a little bit in the past of it's all about how much money you're bringing home to Papa. Like, guys who generate money like Ty. That's why Ty could go on his, because Brada brings gate. Brada makes people want to click in and pay attention. He moves units, as they would say. So I don't think Jilton had that kind of movement. I don't think Jilton had that kind of gravity or money making.
No, he and he absolutely didn't. And this is one of the hard parts, right? And this is like, go back to Conor McGregor. I hate to bring him up 4 times in one episode.
Bring him up.
If you're going to be if you're going to not speak English, right? If you're going to be like, not be able to engage with the crowd, if you're not going to be able to do everything else that the UFC wants you to do, you at least better fight exciting. And I'm not saying that that's how it should be. That's how it is, right? That's what it is. You got to sell something somewhere, and not being able to talk to people, not being able to sell people, not having a huge social media. I'm working on mine. I'm bad at it too, but not having any of that, and then fighting boring. That's not what the business is. Unfortunately, we are not football. We are not basketball. Nobody cares that you won, right? They want to be entertained. We are sports entertainment. They want to not know who's going to win and be entertained. That's it.
That's, as the great pro wrestler used to say, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. I just want to close this up with, I remember, and is extending the comment of Azores there, saying that the UFC is losing credibility. I know, you know, I know, we all know dozens, hundreds, actually, maybe even thousands of fighters who paved the way for the sport to be where it's at right now. And it was built on meritocracy. It was built on merit. It was built on legitimacy of contests and triumph and trial. And now it's just like, yeah, once again, whoever's making the most money, whoever can sell the most shorts, or whatever, and that's who gets to live to fight another day.
So I said this in the lead up, all the interviews for my dirty boxing fight, my last fight for dirty boxing. All the interviewers, all the reporters, even I'm sure dirty boxing wants me to say title fight. I want to jump the line. I will fight for the title. I'll kill Rosenstruck, all this. And I'm saying for this sport to be what I want it to be, we have to have a ranking and a structure. Rob Perez has earned his title fight, and he should fight for the title, and I will fight the winner of that. And that's probably the wrong thing to say. That's probably like, I could tell when I say that, they're all like, what? No, you don't want to fight for the title? Yes, I want to fight for the title, but I want this sport to be something special, something good, and that comes with meritocracy. That's the trying to be the flash. I don't want to be the flash in the pan. I want to be the NFL someday, you know?
I agree with you, bro. And that is the right answer to say. And, you know, people want the clickiest thing. They want the easiest, funniest thing. They want the most impactful thing. They don't always want the right thing in the moment, but the right thing, saying the right thing for the sport overall is the best thing overall. I like when your post-fight interview and you say stuff like, I'm still horny for violence. Or
that was not planned.
Or when you call out everybody in the arena for a scrap at the bar, which is my second favorite thing you did. But let's go on to some other topics, some other great stuff, because where fighters are appreciated, it doesn't matter. That's the one good thing I can say about the MMA community still, is once the fighter has love, once they have some attention, they can go anywhere and people want to see them get down. And so you know a little bit more about this card than I do, so I'm going to lean on to you a little bit for this. the Game Bread Bare Knuckle MMA event coming up recently. Multiple guys matchmaking getting announced and some interesting stuff. I will just throw my 2 cents out there. Guys retire from the UFC because of damage accumulated, and then send themselves off to Jorge Masvidal's Bare Knuckle MMA, which can't be any more friendly to the damage accumulation meter in your career span. So, my dude, take it away.
Dude, I have so much to say about this card. I went on an emotional roller coaster today, an emotional journey. When I saw it get announced, I saw Jorge Masvidal go up and say, 500K bare knuckle MMA tournament, 500K for the winner. And I'm like getting massive FOMO. I'm like, oh my God, I'm locked down. I'm locked down to DBX. I can't do this. Like, did I screw myself out of a huge payday? But then I start seeing the details. I start seeing that it's in the Dominican Republic. It's Anthony Smith's fighting in it. Muhammad Usman is fighting in it, who was just suspended for 3 years because there's no commission in the Dominican Republic.
Hey,
dude, this is
old school UFC.
This is old school UFC. Like, you know what? We can all hate on the commission. You know what the commission does? They make sure you get paid. They make sure that when you break your hand and cut your eye in a fight, that they pay to get you stitched up. They make sure there's doctors ringside. Like, this is wild, dude. This card or this thing that they're trying to put on, right? You've got a suspended fighter fighting. You've got a retired fighter fighting. Like, this is wild. Just the names on it. Todd Duffy. Todd Duffy's one of the names. I don't know if he's fought in a decade. I don't know the last time Todd Duffy fought.
I can help you. BKFC. He didn't last long. It was not good. And I think maybe Fight Circus. He might have fought some clowns or something. But I don't know.
This is like, I don't know. Maybe Jorge, just has tons of money laying around that none of us know about. But what this looks like to me, and this is pure speculation, that they got whatever names that they could get, names that people would recognize to hopefully tune in, and that they are trying to make the money to pay for this card. So to get those names, they had to offer them money, right? They had 500K. They had to put money on the line to get these names, money that they don't have, and they're hoping to make this money during the card, because that's another thing. Sorry, I'm rambling. We're going crazy. We're off the rails. We're live, guys.
You're just excited, bro. You're excited. You're excited.
Do you guys know why the GFL fell apart? Because in California, where a commission exists, you have to show that you have the money to pay your fighters before you have the card. Yep. The commission won't let you make people fight each other if you don't show them that you have money to pay those people. Yeah. You know who doesn't do that? The Dominican Republic. So they're holding this show, hoping they make enough money off of the show to pay the fighters. And I want nothing but the best for all of these guys. Even Muhammad. I want them all to make 500K. But it looks a little sketchy from my perspective.
One, I'm gonna say Jorge won that lawsuit against that app, the FanMio app that him and Nate fought on. I don't know if he got paid from it, but I know he won some money. So maybe he's flipping, he's flipping the bread, trying to make a deal happen. I'm hoping that's the case. But no, just like you said, even here in Nevada, you have to have an account. It's almost like in an escrow that has all the fighters' purses already set aside and ready to go, completely separate from your operations account, to all the money you're going to spend to promote it, to rent the arena and all that. Totally not the same. It has to be a separate fund just for the purses of the fighters. So you're 100% right. As much as we like to rag on and I do like to rag on the commissions for a litany of reasons they deserve, that one solid aspect is, well, very solid.
Well, and why else do it in the Dominican Republic? Like, do they think there's going to be a bunch of ticket sales? Like why?
Well, I would. Okay, if I was representing Game Bread, I would answer this as so we could circumvent around any because was Lionheart fully out of his fight deal? Like, can he fight somewhere else?
I bet you.
Not
I
a
didn't even think
commission,
about that.
so he
I didn't
can.
even think about that.
Since it's not
I
a
bet you
commission
didn't.
fight, he can wiggle out of it.
Yeah.
We can get Usman. We can get anybody on the juice suspension list, which is a good number of people, unfortunately.
Is he? When was the last time he was on the desk? When was that last time Anthony was on the desk? Has he been on there from Paramount at all?
I think he has. I think so. But that's, I'm just going with that. Like, because we could do the Bill Belichick and misinterpret the rules. Yeah, I made that joke. Shout out South Park. We can misinterpret the rules all we want in the Dominican Republic, and we don't have to worry about. And this one hurts. I don't even want to say this. I wouldn't be saying as Game Bread. This is just Rob talking out of his ass. Is I don't have to worry so much about the public perception of health and safety. I can just let these guys crash into each other.
Yeah, everything you're saying is correct and true and honest. None of that is what's good for the fighters, right? None of that makes like I said. I went through an emotional roller coaster. When I first saw it, I was like, damn, I'm missing out all this. And then now I've come full circle. I'm like, this is so sketchy. And it's bare knuckle MMA. It's not even a boxing or anything. Bare knuckle MMA with older fighters, guys with names. I don't know. I hope it's cool. And like I said, for the sake of the fighters, I hope everyone stays healthy, and I hope they all get paid. And that's truly. I hope this blows up and they all make $1 million. And
I'm with you on that. I'm with for the fighters, guys, be healthy, make money. I'm with you on all that. I'm also I don't know who's on the list because I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't look up the fight roster, but I do know this watching Game Bread's production and some other bare knuckle MMA, that bare knuckle MMA really favors grapplers. They don't have any of that other. Right. They don't have that glove getting away, especially going for chokes. And hands, they're not as strong as you think or want them to be against people's heads. So that I could see, if you just, out of the list of people you just listed, Todd Duffy, who is a glass cannon, who'd probably kill me, but I'm still saying it. Mohammed Juiceman, Lionheart Smith seems. Folks, I don't know where you put your money on prediction markets. Wherever you can get your money on some prediction markets, but whoever's the heavy grappler in this list besides Lionheart, bet them up. Go or predict, because you're not betting on prediction markets.
Well, so there's I've talked a lot of trash about the card. I said all the bad stuff about it. No, I'll say the good stuff. I'll tell you guys who's on the card. There's 2 8-man brackets, right? The first bracket that's happening April 10th is Guto Incente versus Muhammad Usman. So, Guto is a badass too. He's a really good fighter. Alexander Romanov versus Nikolay Kovalenko.
Wow. Mr. Bag of Milk himself.
Yeah. Bruno Capoloza versus Todd Duffy, and then Anthony Smith versus Chase Sherman. So this is the first side. This is the first side of the bracket. They have the names of the other side of the bracket, but that one's May 1st. But so it's all recognizable names, and that's what I was saying, is that they went out and got people who people who casuals hopefully know, to try and get you to tune in, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting if you are betting. I do like Anthony over Chase, but we'll see what else is after.
And I'm going to throw my 2 cents on here. The reason why I think this could work more than the GFL is because none of those guys, I suspect you could get those guys in with $250,000 promises. $500,000 promise. That's a good enough promise. Not like the multi-single-digit millions per individual athletes that the GFL was doing. That was.
I remember. Here's some inside information for you guys. Probably over a year ago. Yeah, over a year ago, last March, like a year ago. I was actually having dinner with Anthony Smith, and he was talking about the number that it would take him to do power slap, and it was not as high a number as you would think. it was not a very high number. So I'm sure they got him for a decent price, and with the sprinkle of winning 500K.
That's what's up. Now we're gonna switch gears to a place that does pay well. Most of the time, they don't. Sometimes they don't pay on time, but they've gotten better. They pay. Who am I talking about? Karate Combat, your former alma mater in ways. They just had an event. Now, the rest of the card. First off, shout out Roy and Chavera, homie. Good to see you in action again. Love them. Multiple fighters that we all know and love. Uriah Hall, somehow looking ageless again. It's funny, like he's now looking like the guy we all thought he would be, but now later in life in a different sport. But whatever, not the point. Lots of talking points on this card. I enjoyed it. I love seeing Karate Combat get back on the feet. I'm not going to rag them because I love them, but they had some hiccups last few cards. You can see their quality of show diminish a little bit, but it's back. They're back on their horse. Good for them. Love to see it. I do want to talk about the buyer's remorse. It seems like people are having over the main event, and then the drama that spilled out from it with the Walker brothers, and just kind of like maybe just throw some balls back and forth and whatever we thought about the card. And folks, drop your comments if you watch Karate Combat. What was your takes on this? I always thought it was kind of a joke. I never took it seriously that a genuine heavyweight was going against a man without legs. I thought it was just giving the guy without legs, Mr. Zion Clark, an opportunity to headline an event because he seems like a cool guy and he's put in a lot of work to train, and he's fucking dedicated himself harder to the sport than some people. Like, I just thought it was a great place to just let something fun happen, but other people taking it real personal. They're taking it real sour. How did you feel about the fight, man? Or contest, I should say.
Well, so there's a lot. So what? First thing, like, you're right that they did have some struggles there for a little bit, where I thought it was going away, and then like I thought there wasn't going to be any more Karate Combat, and the production, it looks like it all got handled. Like, it looks like whatever the issues were have been handled. Maybe they got an investor or another investor, or some more dough or something. But from that side, the production was good. Everything on that line was good, and I hope the best. I hope the best for them. I'm not sure what the word is, right? I'm being an old man about this. I'm being like a boomer about this, dude. I hated it. The wing C, the main event, dude. I hate that shit. I absolutely like. We're a literal circus now. We're an actual circus. We're having a man with no legs grappling a heavyweight fighter. And I'm absolutely not talking trash about Zion. Good for him, dude. You have worked your ass off, and you got yourself to an opportunity. You got yourself to a main event to go out there and do something and show the world something. Great. Good for you, dude. Good for you. And then unfortunately, sometimes, like, Walter Walker is not only a heavyweight male, a ranked UFC fighter and grappler, like really, really good. And it went the only way it could go. It went the only way it could go. And I watched it, and like, I literally just like felt gross. I was like, what am I watching? This is like gross. I did not enjoy it.
I can tell you that I had that same feeling, but maybe I'm broken inside. I only had that feeling right at the very end, right when the choke was being applied. The whole rest of it, I was having fun. I was like, when he did the imaginary heel hook on him, and then even when Zion like took his back and stuff, I was like, this is fun. I like this. This is cool. Like, to me, I just kept seeing it as giving Zion his moment until the choke got applied. And then I was like, oh, that's not fun. Like, this is This is not what I signed up for. But I will say this: I've back up to the Wing C thing. Malcolm Schulier. I knew him as Malcolm Schuyler. Doesn't matter what he changed his name to, but I got to know the young man a little while back. He was very unique and original, and all the things you see of him now, he was then. I gotta say, man, if you were getting punched up for free on Street Beefs and some amateur cards and stuff like that, and you were able to make your way to be on screen with DJ and then to get a fight at Karate Combat, that's what I'm celebrating. Whether you like his antics, his style, his weird character, that's a whole nother debate. But to work hard, to go from not getting paid to getting punched in the face for free, to then getting a real paycheck out of this gig and getting better, like it or not, he is getting better. His gimmick, maybe not so much, but I can respect that. That part I am for. That part I respectfully disagree with you, my friend.
Well, so here, this is the point that I'll make. This is what I'll say, and I've said this before. I have no issue with his fight style, what he's doing in the cage, in the ring, with having an audience, doing the stream, those types of things. I'm not a hater in that aspect. What I'm talking about is like
hate.
No, I'm talking about for the man, for the young man, for the individual, right? Okay, call me a hater. Call me a hater. He's not going to be UFC champion. He's not going to be UFC champion.
Yeah.
He's not going to make a living fighting. He's going to have a nice little time right now because of the audience he's made for himself. But the attention and the draw that he's getting is going to push him to keep going down this route, to go do crazier, wilder things, right? I don't know when he got the headband tattoo. Like, I don't know if that was before all this or not. But you're not getting a job, dude. You're not getting a job. And I got a tattoo on my neck. Maybe I'm not the guy to tell you to worry about future prospects, but he's not going to retire from fighting with enough money. He's going to have to do something else. And right now he's getting led down a road with the attention, with the clicks, with the likes, which for a young man is almost impossible to deny. He's getting led down an unsustainable road. You just have to keep getting wilder and crazier. And his last, he won his fight. Awesome. That's great. He lost his last fight to a guy from our gym, who an amateur fight, who's not a pro. He got finished. I'm trying to keep myself on track here. I've been finished. I've lost fights, right? But I also have the capability of making money outside of fighting. And that's why I fight, because I fight for fun. Wing C is not in that boat, and it hurts me to see him playing the clown role, because that's what it is. He's being a clown and he's getting paid for it. And how long can you be a clown for?
Well, that's the answer to that question lines up with how long can you entertain, right? I mean, some clowns have a long lifespan. Some are forgotten by next year. Maybe because I knew the guy in a couple years past. I haven't got to talk to him recently.
I want to be clear about one thing. I hope get another headband tattoo. I hope he makes $1 million. I hope he never has to work a day in his life. I truly do. I want the best for everyone that fights, everyone that gets in the ring. I want the best for them. But I have to go with my eyes, with what I see, that I don't think that he is going to make enough money fighting to not ever have to do anything else. And he's making the product that he's putting out is going to make his life harder doing things other than fighting.
I want to jump in with this answer from Billy Watson. Shout out Billy. And anybody else who wants to drop comments, please come. Drop any last thoughts before we close up shop. Any topics you guys want to have us chop up or share together. But I think he's responding to how long can he be a clown for? And the answer is Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
Which is 25 motherfucking years deep.
So
Shout out Crazy Horse, Felony Bennett, aka Kid Chaos. Love you, bro. Yes, thank you for entertaining us.
Everyone in the chat and Rob, let me know if you would want to switch places with Crazy Horse. If you would want Crazy Horse's life, let me know that. Let me know. Like,
no, maybe not. I mean, I love my life, so I don't want to switch it with anybody's, but I still love Crazy Horse. I'm not gonna get me to say not. But for everyone, all jokes aside, for everyone Crazy Horse, there's 10,000 guys we forgot their names or we never knew their names. But I like the point you made about how intoxicating. Billy says, "Hell no, he does not want to trade spots with Crazy Horse." Fair answer. I lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the point of the matter is, getting intoxicated by clicks and likes is something the young guy is gonna have to deal with. Like, we all have to deal with stuff in our prime times that is unique and different in every era, that is not the same, that changes or whatever. The young people, they have to navigate this life of being on camera all the time, of searching for clicks and likes, how you navigate that, what you make you do or do for it. That's your own challenge. Like, back when we were running around, there was no camera, so you could just fight anybody and whatever happened, and there was nobody getting in trouble. Now it's not the case. Everything's being recorded. So who knows? But I do want to poke towards any last thoughts or questions or comments anybody has, or Mr. Pauga. Any thoughts about the fight game in general? It doesn't have to be this, can be anything on your mind before we go our separate ways.
I don't know. I didn't think I was in a bad mood today, but I said I was very negative today. I was very negative. It's a cool time in fight sports. It's a cool time. There's a lot of different things happening, and we open the show kind of with the stranglehold that UFC has on managers in MMA, and it does. But also, you've got karate combat. You now have you could go fight bare knuckle in the Dominican Republic, bare knuckle MMA. BKFC is what we talked about all last Friday. And we have dirty boxing. It's a great time for combat sports, and it's a really cool time to be a part of it. And I'm excited for everything.
I'm a sucker. Being a day one fan, hello. I'm a sucker for all of it. I want to see the fighting all the time. I'm so happy where combat sports is right now in its flow of history. PFL still kicking ass, doing its thing, expanding more shows than they were ever before, getting rid of the tournament format. I was a little bit dorky for it, but having more shows per year is better for the athletes, more opportunity to fight. Like you said, there's so many brands. Shout out BKB. Shout out Don over at BKB, helping to running that up, getting fighters signed up over there. They've been, dude, that's a topic I haven't given enough love to. BKB signing Yuriokis Gamboa, former boxing world champion.
I saw that. Yeah.
And Lee Shelby, world title challenger, multiple European titles, very badass boxer. I don't know if he was a world champ. Maybe he was. Sorry, Mr. Shelby, if I'm not giving you credit. But still, I've seen his fights. Still, like, those are super high-level boxers that they're signing over there on that brand of bare knuckle. I mean, talk about, I just wanted to back up what you were saying. Exciting as shit.
Well, yeah, and chat, before we won't go down the whole BKB thing right now, but LT Nelson, right? He's, if you everything that you like about fighting, that dude is about, right? He's like going for triple champ status over there, the bloodiest, craziest fights. He is absolutely insane.
That's it. And all right, so we did open the show with UFC because hello, of course we're gonna, but this is a combat sports show. We went through a bunch of others, and we're gonna close up on the oldest of the regulated combat sports anyway, because wrestling technically is the oldest of all time, if you want to get dorky with it, and I will. But the point is, Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia also this weekend. Big time fight, my friend. Prediction, what you got?
So now I get to not be an old guy, dude. I love Ryan Garcia. I like Garcia, dude. And let, like, if I was betting money, I would never bet money on Ryan Garcia though, because you don't know which one's going to show up, right? You don't know. He has had some fights where I'm like, yeah, here we go. He's going to top. And then his last fight, I was like, I don't know. I'm rooting for Garcia. I would not be comfortable putting money on him just because you never know. You never know who's going to show up to the fights.
Dude, you're right. You're not wrong on that at all. I got to give Ryan so much credit for so many things, and none of them have to do with the actual fighting. One, maybe one of the greatest media troll jobs since Ricardo Mayorga. Ricardo used to smoke cigarettes, used to get everybody in the news up in the uproar back in the late 90s, early 2000s. People thought that was like sacrilegious. Ryan hitting the beer at weigh-ins while missing 4 pounds. While missing, yeah, which is like, that's 1A, 1B, pick one. Then knowing he was on, I'm just going to say knowing he was on the juice, on Osterine and whatever else he was on, and betting on himself. Like, that is the most high, like boxing they all talk about, it's about IQ, which it is, but that outside the ring IQ, which he's not getting enough credit for. I think that was one of the smartest things ever done outside of boxing, technically. Mario Barrios, though, very good. My only if about that is that I know I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest of all time, but a mid 46, I think Pacquiao. Mario should have walked him.
Hadn't fought in like 5 years.
Yeah, Mario should have walked him. I think it was like, it was probably like 3 or 4 years. Who gives a shit? It was a long time. And Mario should have walked him. Mario should have sent him packing. And it ended up being a draw, I believe, which was weird.
Draw.
But since I gave Ryan a whole bunch of outside the ring credit, I want to give Mario the same emphatic, bro, your walkout gear, your fight gear, best in boxing. Mario Barrios is the best dressed fighter walking into the ropes, walking into the ring that has ever happened. His color coordination, his cultural significance and reference, all of it. If you guys haven't seen it, Google it. Dude, most high level, well-dressed dude. So because I base the fight not on skills, which I do, I'm just joking, but because of peripheral antics, I'm gonna go Barrios. I'm gonna go Barrios. I hope so. But at the same time, if Garcia wins, I'm not gonna be sad. I actually think I'm wrong. Like, I'm trying to be intelligent on this pick, but I think Garcia wins it. Did you say you're taking Garcia, or you're not?
That's what I'm taking. Well, I'm taking Garcia. If you get into my head, I'm taking Garcia, and I'm hoping Austrian Garcia shows up. but you never know, dude. That's the problem. You never know with him.
You really don't. Well, folks, thank you for joining us here live for episode 3 of our live stuff. Zach, you got any things you want to say before we go our separate ways, my man? Anything at all before we close up?
No, just we're trying to figure the tech side of this out, right? Neither me or Rob are tech guys. It's been live on Instagram, and I've been trying to click back and forth but the comments from YouTube come to us on the platform we're streaming on here. The Instagram comments don't come to us. I've been trying to click back and forth. So stick with us. We'll figure it out eventually. We figured out how to get the Instagram up and running this time, so we're going to figure it out. I promise you.
That's right. I mean, 100%. We went from barely getting this thing running to the next week we got it running on X to this week we're on Instagram. Yeah. We're making progress, baby.
Yeah, we're improvement every week.
And not for nothing, I got the notification while we're already launched that's saying that X, which I said earlier, has been having problems today. So we probably didn't go on X today either, but it doesn't matter. You guys were here. Shout out to Azor. Shout out to Billy. Thank you guys for coming to the YouTube portion to drop comments. Everybody on Instagram, I didn't get to see your comments, but Zach did, and we appreciate them. Hit us up, DM us. You see our handles there. Drop us things. You want to know stuff about the fight game? You guys want to have any discussions about whatever's going on? And I know it's a little too soon on the calendar, but I'm still going to promote it. My beloved Combate Global going down February 26th, making its debut in California in the new studios. So already put it down. It's on Thursday. You don't got no other fightings to watch on Thursday. Get down on Thursday. It's free on YouTube. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to promote that again next week. But in the meantime, it's been a good time. We'll see you next time. And you know what's up. In the meantime, stay fully hydrated. All right.